How's it going, everybody? Back with another Mustang video. So today we're going to be working with the IAC. It's the idle air control valve. It's located right here on the upper intake plenum. So a lot of people like to put the plate behind it with the gasket. It helps with the idle hang, stuff like that. But we're going to be going a little bit with a different route. So let me get down to the bench and I'll explain it a little bit more. All right, we're in the car, and this is before I do anything to the IAC. So let's start it up. So it's idling right at 1,000, maybe 1,100. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take this hose off the IAC. Sorry about that. It's a little hard to do it one-handed. Let's see if I can get it done. Okay, so I'm going to take this little piece and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back down at the workbench, and what I have in front of me is the hose that leads from the air intake into the IAC valve. It's all taken apart in front of me. But first, let me explain what people usually do. They take the IAC valve off, and they have these little adapter plates that they put in with the gaskets, and then they seal it back on. It has a bigger hole and a smaller hole, and what those usually do is it helps with the idle hang, stuff like that. I have seen in videos and forums and stuff like that, it does work. So yeah, you can go that route if you want to, but I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different route. I've seen in forums people taking little copper fittings that they get at Home Depot, Lowe's, your local hardware store, and they drill a little hole in it and they put it in this hose that leads to the IAC valve. And I've seen that they had pretty good results with that. So I went down in my garage and I found these little aluminum fittings, and it already has the little hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in that little hose right in the middle, and it actually will not go in there. So even if it does slide down, we're pretty good. And then you got this hose right here, and it fits perfectly. I can push that all the way down in the middle or wherever I want. And you can see that is a smaller hole compared to the hose. So therefore it's going to be acting as the same as those little plates that they use, but I didn't have to go through all the trouble of taking the IAC off and all that stuff. This was way more simpler. So let's get up to the car and we'll get that all installed and we'll see where we go from there. I'll be right back. Alright, I actually wanted to mention on a side note the actual size of the hole on the fitting. I got my drill bit set out here. It's a 5/16. A lot of people like to go a couple sizes down and do the 3/16. But in my opinion, I think that's a little too small. I see on the forums, groups, videos, stuff like that. People have actually stalled out, cars not starting at cold starts, colder weather, stuff like that. And they end up having to take these out. So here's the actual fitting in the hose. I want to show you that real quick. You can see that hose is like 5 times or bigger than the actual hole on the fitting. So I feel like that's going to benefit real well. So let's get this up to the car and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back up at the car, and you can see I slid that all the way into the middle. Alright, let's get it hooked back up, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back in the car. Let's start it up and see what we get. I'm sitting right at 900 so far. At a cold start. Let it sit for a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, it's been warming up for a couple minutes. We're sitting right around 700-800 RPM, so let's give it a couple revs and see what happens. Definitely seems to come down a little faster. I think it'll take a couple times of driving around to really notice it, but yeah, I'll give an update video when I notice a few little differences. But yeah, if you're thinking about doing this, go ahead and drop a comment. If you have any questions or anything like that, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, that's it for this video today. Thanks for watching.